monitoring it. So you can just ask a question straight away. There's no need to wait until the end. And I hope you will enjoy this session. So Sonia and Jacqueline, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you will have to be patient with us because we're trying to understand how to share our screen. So while we figure that out, I also wanted to ask everyone here, I wanted to check how many students we have here today. So I think it's around 6-7 students. So if you don't mind putting in the chat a little bit about you, so what it is that you're studying now, and where are you located right now, that would be very nice. It would give us a bit of an indication of who are we talking with. So while we figure how to, thank you, Jackie, how to share our screen, we can also get to know you a little bit better. Maybe what are you studying? What are your main subjects right now? If it's more social sciences or sciences, something around these lines, whatever you want to share. Marika, do you think you can share the screen for us? Would that be an option? Because we cannot find a way.
Oh. Got it.
Yes, we're okay. Here we are. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Hello, I'm a parent. My daughter is also here. Oh, hi, parent. Hello. Maybe your daughter want to tell us a little bit more. Where are you guys located right now, and what is she or he she's studying? So we have Shabana, Wendell, Eleanor, Mila, Mariluz, and Romy. And feel free to stop us anytime, ask questions. So this is supposed to be a conversation. We are going to explain some things, but do please.
They can't hear us.
Oh.
That's weird.
I can't hear you if you're talking.
Well, we're not muted.
No, we're not muted.
Now you can? Okay, Marika can hear us. Romy, can you still hear us, or?
Romy, maybe you can rejoin. Give it a try. We'll wait for you 1 more minute, and then we'll start.
So for example, if no one else wants to share, because I'm curious, I'm from the US originally. I haven't lived there for over a decade. And Sonia is from Catalonia. So if there's anybody from North America or also from EU, because it's also nice that at UCG we have such a multicultural student body. So that's one of the things that I really like about meeting students is where they're from and a bit about their own background. Mm-hmm. So Mari is from Germany.
Mm-hmm. And planning on studying English language and culture. Very well.
Nice. Where in Germany are you from, Mari? Hamburg. Not too far away.
We have some students in Hamburg? Or
yeah,
not?
we do.
Okay.
We do.
Working now. All right. Okay, so we'll start. Please stop us anytime. Hi, Eleanor, French, and attended the European School of The Hague. Oh, nice. Subjects include biology, chemistry, mathematics, and we have someone from London hoping to study humanities, especially philosophy. Okay, we have a very interesting line in that regard. Okay, well, I'll start, and maybe Jacqueline can take a quick look at the chat, and we'll try to say hello to all of you in the meantime. All right, so we are not going to talk that much about the courses we offer here, but we're going to try to offer you a bit of an orientation of 2 different things. First one, the guidance team and the guidance support that we offer here at the faculty, which is very much related to the quality of the program that we offer, and very much related to the quality of the experience that you might have throughout the 3 years at UCG or at any faculty or university you end up. And on top of that, we are going to talk a little bit about one very particular part of the program we offer that takes place in the 3rd year of the liberal arts and sciences. And that in that part of the program is where you can either study abroad or do an internship. And those are things that somehow we try to support you because they relate to your career development, and they can relate to your well-being throughout our studies. They can relate to your master choice later on as well. So we kind of like packed all the support that we offer under one same roof at UCG. So that's why Jacqueline, who is the exchange officer, and me, who I am one of the academic advisors of the faculty, are going to explain you a little bit about this. Okay, and I'm going to try to move this slide. Let me see if I can manage. Sorry, guys. Oh, here we go. Thank you. So did I do this or did you do this, Marika?
So, I'm sharing, right?
Oh, you're sharing. So you're okay. So can you move a bit more until everything has popped in this slide? Thank you so much. I think there should be one more if I'm not wrong. So this is a bit for you to understand what is that we do at UCG when we talk about guidance, right? So we do offer a program of student mentorings that is somehow common in most of the universities. We try to offer you a strong program when it comes to mentoring. So throughout the first year, you feel supported and you feel in control of all the different procedures and knowledge that you will have to combine with your studies, because it's a lot of new things, right? So we try to help you in navigating all those processes with a strong student mentoring. I will talk a little bit more about that later on. We, guidance team, also offer you personal support when that is needed. Sometimes throughout your studies, personal circumstances might occur that might influence your academics, and that's why we have a team of 5 that supports you in that regard. That same team of 5 people offers academic guidance, and we also touch upon career guidance throughout your 3 years here at UCG. If you can move the slide, Marika. Next one. Thank you so much. So a little bit more about our mentors. These are our current mentors for this year, just for you to get to see their faces. When you arrive here, we organize an introduction week. And during that introduction week, you get to meet your mentor. And you are placed in a group of 10 other students and you guys share the same mentor. So this mentor accompanies you throughout the first semester, and this mentor will offer academic activities in the sense that they will be organizing meetings, bi-weekly meetings where you discuss academic information that is relevant for you. And there are also social events. So you will do social events with these mentors, and you kind of it's a nice way to meet our students from your same cohort, with whom you might not be sharing accommodations, for instance, or with you might not be doing the same classes and courses. So it's an additional layer of kind of socialization that is also very nice and very well valued for our students, I would say. So something you want to add here?
Yeah, no, I think it's also a great idea because you can meet someone that is a peer, as opposed to, of course, we're here to help you, but that's always different when you're getting it from someone that went through what you went through a year before. And also, as Sonia said, not just about UCG, but because if you don't have experience of being in the Netherlands prior to, just sort of how things work here and getting around Groningen itself, and also just not academically, but the practical things as well. Grocery shopping, banks, doctors. Of course, we're on hand for that as well. But it's a lot different when you have someone, and it's a nice way to meet other students. So if you're a bit introverted or shy, it kind of makes that more interpersonal to allow you to meet some friends.
Exactly. And I'm sure some of you might have mentors now, or might be mentors in your high school. Our second and third year students, and eventually you might get to be second and third year students here at UCG, are very happy to be mentors. It's a very nice job to have as well throughout your studies. So you start with a mentor, and eventually you might become a mentor as well. So we have Futini here, we have Nolan, we have our head mentor, Zulima, she's on the top. It's a nice program that we have, I would just say, but I think it's important for you to know that it's here. Marika, can you please go to the next one? Here we go. On top of your mentor, right when you arrive here at UCG, we will also tell you who is your academic advisor. And your academic advisor will be with you, the same academic advisor will be with you throughout the 3 years you will stay at UCG. That is very interesting, I would say, because on the one hand, it provides you full support and coverage during the whole program. So there are no blank spaces here and there. You don't jump from your mentor to an academic advisor. You are always covered by your academic advisor. And you also develop a relationship with your academic advisor, because it's a lot of time, it's a lot of meetings. From the very beginning, we see students growing, we see students' interest changing. So we really get to develop those relationships in a deep and interesting way, I would say.
Yeah.
You can see the 5 of us here: Gina, Iris, Jacqueline. She's also the exchange officer of the faculty, Ava, and that's me as well. Anything you want to add here?
No, I just think what's also nice about UCG is that if for some reason, because we have other academic advisors, it's also not a problem to switch, or sometimes if you have a commonality with an AA, but also just that normally that you have one that is so specific to you for the whole 3 years, because it also allows us to see and get to know you better, and also how we advise you and which courses and which direction you want to take after UCG.
Exactly. Marika, if you can jump to the next one, please. Thank you. Okay, so a little bit more of what we provide here. So on the one hand, we are here to support you in case of personal or extraordinary circumstances, right? So you might want to apply for exam provisions. You might have already now exam provisions, maybe in your high school, and you want to apply again here at uni. We support you in the process. It's not a complicated process, but it's always good to have someone, to have a door to knock and ask how to do it, and we help you with that. If there are study delay, because things happen in life, and at some point you might struggle because of particular circumstances, because whatever, we are here to support you. Okay, we have several programs that also provide students with financial support in case of personal circumstances. So we handle all that, and we support students in all those processes anytime they need us. We also advise what is called the Board of Examiners. Maybe some of you are familiar with the term, some might have no idea what that is, but the Board of Examiners is kind of like the upper management here at the faculty. And sometimes some students might need some help with extensions in their exams, in their essays, or might struggle a bit with the attendance rule. We have attendance rule at all courses. Students have to attend at least 80% of all the sessions, and that's usually very well follow up, but you might get sick, or other reasons might mean that you cannot attend all those classes. And here we also play a role between the student and the teachers, and between the students and the Board of Examiners. We help students approaching academics in a healthy way. So if there are situations where you feel you're reaching out a burnout point, if you are detecting that there are some study skills that you might want to improve, if your time management at peak moments or at some point of your studies is not optimal, then we help students in that regard. And I would say academic guidance, it's one of the important areas that we cover. It's small here, but it's a big chunk of what we do.
Yeah.
And that's because the Liberal Arts and Sciences program offers students a lot of freedom and a lot of choice possibilities when it comes to selecting courses. That is very valuable for a lot of students, but it also implies that students have to be very active in the choices they make. And to be able to do that, we also help our students in making those choices in an informed and confident way. Yeah. We also offer workshops. I see that all bachelor programs have their own website. Oh, that's Marika talking. Okay.
Oh.
Marika, can you please move the slide for us? Yes. If you have any type of special need that you would like to know how the University of Groningen in general would support you in that regard, please use this QR code and all the information is there. Okay, when it comes to exam facilities, when it comes to special arrangements because of disabilities, the sooner you are informed and the sooner you start the applying process, the better. So I would definitely suggest to please check this out. And Marika, if you can move to the next one. Thank you so much. And please do contact us. So in case of questions of, what are the options for studying with some particular extraordinary circumstances, please always reach out to us. The sooner we start the process, the better. Okay, so this is what we offer when it comes to guidance and academic support. Do you guys have any questions so far? Anything that it was not clear or that you would like me to explain a little bit further? I have not seen any texts here. Maybe the parent has a question as well. Let me know, and you don't have to write in the chat. You can just ask if you want. And if everything was clear, we will continue. You can, as I said, you can always email us here, and we'll be happy to follow up the conversation or just give you more details on things. I think there are no questions for now, so maybe we can continue. Marika, do you mind going to the next one? Thank you. So as I said, we have talked a little bit about our guidance support system. We're going to talk a little bit now about one part of our program, which takes place in the third year. Okay, this is just a bit of an overview of how the curriculum structure of the liberal arts and sciences program looks like. You can see that we have a major section that's 95 credits. We have an academic core section, that is like the mandatory section in where courses are already determined for you. So it's academic skills course, exploring challenges, philosophy of science, a bit of a core elective that you can choose from, but those are 6 courses that you choose in the beginning. You have to choose 2 of them, but the choice is limited. And then projects. We have projects in every year of the program. That is the academic core. Then we have the major section, level 100, 200, 300 courses. That means first year courses, second year courses, third year courses. And here you have a lot of freedom on what courses to choose. This is where I was explaining that we offer a lot of support to guide you in that choice. And here you can see that we have what we call the minor. All right, so this is very common for bachelor programs to have a minor section. In our case, that minor takes place in the third year, first semester. Marika, if you can go to the next one.
Do you want to take it?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we wanted to give you guys an idea of what the structure of your first year would look like. So you can see that for the first semester, which is the fall semester, because the academic year here is divided into 4 blocks. So that's also what you see here, block 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in block 1, you have to take academic skills and exploring challenges in modern society and a core elective, which includes courses here like how things work, love, this is the sea, and other ones. So it is a bit of a combination of courses that you have to take, but already giving you a bit of choice from a list of courses of what you want to take. And then the same in block 2, you'll also take another core elective that is of your choosing. And then when you move into block 3 and 4, that is a bit more where you can diversify which courses you want to take as part of your major elective and your research methodology elective. And then in block 4 of your first year at the end, you will have a project. And also in years 2 and 3, you also have a project. So at the end of the year at UCG, we have a day called Project Day, where all of the students, whether they've done an independent project or a group project, they present what they've done and what they've researched. And it's a really great initiative to see what your students have been working on. And also as first years, to get an idea if there is a project a student has done at the second or third year that you find interesting and might give you an idea of what you would like to do in your second and third year.
Shall we move to the next one, Marika? It's the year 2 structure.
Okay. So then in your year 2, again, as you guys can see, each block has where you can take your electives. And then in block 3 of your second year, again, courses like philosophy of science, that is a core component of the LAS diploma. But you start to have a lot more choice in your second year, depending on what you want your major to be, which electives you would like to take. And the difference of year 1 is that your project for year 2 will expand the whole semester. So it's going to be more in-depth and have a bit more requirement than your first year project did. And again, you will have 60 credits just like you have in your first year.
And if we can move to the next one, please. We are reaching the third year structure.
So it's called a minor, but it's the best part of the program. But so in the first semester only is when you can do an internship or an exchange, or something called a university minor, which Sonia will explain more on in a moment. But the thing is that if you do an internship or study abroad, there is a little bit of flexibility where, depending on the program or the organization or company that you had do an internship, often called a traineeship as well, some students do this in the summer prior to their first semester as a third year student. But then when you come back in the spring, you're going to be focusing on your thesis, which is a very important part of your diploma and graduation. And it's also with electives related to your major. So your third year is definitely going to be your busiest. But
no stress. It's going to be okay.
But it's also a nice chance with the program that you can use your minor space to either deepen what you have an interest in, or if you still want to explore some other things in different types of courses, to broaden it as well. So you have a bit of flexibility there. It's just about deciding what you want to do.
Marika, if you can jump, please, to the next one. So looking back at this curriculum structure, the minor is what Jacqueline was explaining. It's 30 credits that equals 1 semester. You have the option of doing a university minor. Just as a recap, thank you so much. Just a second here. Just 1 second to the next. Yes, here, just one moment. Thank you, Marika. So you can do a university minor, or you can do a personal minor. A university minor means staying here at the University of Groningen and taking courses around. A personal minor gives you the option of doing an internship or studying abroad. It's a very populated option, I would say. We have every year around 80 students probably doing personal minors.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to offer you a little bit more information on those, because those are very interesting options that really complete our program and help students also catering to master applications. So very interesting options. If you can jump now, Marika, thank you so much. A little bit more about internships. An internship here at UCG is a course of 15 credits that you can take during your minor section. Okay, so during your third year, first semester. If you want to do an internship here, what you're going to be doing is to research organizations or companies based on your interest, based on your career and professional goals in the future, based in your master program goals, etc., etc. You will receive support in your search. There is an internship coordinator that helps you and offers you support throughout the searching process, identifying possible internship hosts for you, but also applying. You have to put your CV in order, you have to create multiple cover letters, etc., etc. So there's a whole process there that it takes some time, but it's really beneficial for students in terms of understanding what it is that they are going to be facing eventually when they jump towards the field work. And we support students in that process. Eventually, students find an internship, apply for multiple internships, they are accepted into one, and there are a set of internal procedures. We supervise and grade the internships because it's a course, so you get a grade for that, and your credits, obviously. And point 4, maybe it's important to mention that that internship can take place here in Groningen, but also abroad. So it's part of your study abroad. Can you jump, Marika? Thank you so much. Why it's an interesting option for you to do an internship. When you do an internship, you have been 2.5 years, 2 years here at uni, and you get out of the university and you get to know yourself in a complete different environment. So you really discover your skills, you are able to identify what you are good at, areas of improvement, multiple benefits in that area. You also get to understand what it is out there, so how to link what it is that you're studying with all the professional opportunities that you're going to have to face whenever you finish your studies. So you have a pretty good idea and pretty good understanding after an internship or of how your career progress could look like. During an internship, you will develop so many skills, soft but also hard skills. And it definitely helps master applications. So I'm going quick because I think we're a bit tight on time. But if you have questions about it, I'm super happy to elaborate a little bit more. Marika, can you please continue to the next one? So doing an internship based on the feedback we receive from students, based on our own perspective from many years of accompanying students in doing internships, it's a fantastic opportunity. It really helps students launching their careers. We have so many students who have found their first jobs because of the internships they did as part of the program here. You can get paid while doing an internship, so that's a good option. You will never get paid taking courses, so that's something some of the students are interested in. And you develop your network, and that's always very, very interesting when it comes to finding a job later on. Can you jump, Marika, please? Just for you to review some of the places where our students have done internships. The UCG is the hospital here in Groningen. But as you can see, those are very diverse type of companies and organizations. We offer a very wide array of fields of study here at UCG, which means our students go to do internships in a very diverse array of companies and organizations. So the options are very, very high. If you can click to the next one, Marika. And that's almost all from me, but I wanted to just give you some examples of students who did internships. So this is Sarah. She did an internship at UN Women, Netherlands. And she's now finishing a master program in criminal law. And she also did a master program in international law and human rights. And that was a very interesting connection because those 15 credits of the internship help her being eligible for these master programs. This is Foteni. Foteni is also one of our mentors. You have seen her at the beginning. She's doing an internship at the UCG, the University Medical Center of Groningen, and she's getting prepared to do a pre-master in medicine here in Groningen. She's also doing a very interesting internship right now. And if you can go to the next one, Marika, for you to see. Two last stories. This is Jonah. Jonah is doing an internship at the Jaguar Rescue Center in Costa Rica. He is trying to prepare for a master in biology, and this internship is also part of that preparation, so giving him the necessary credits he needs for that master program. And here we have Martin. Martin finished an internship at the Senate Departments of Economics, Energy, and Public Enterprises in Berlin. And he is one of our PPE students and just came back from Berlin, really, really, really happy about the internship he had. Questions about internships, something that I haven't said or that you want to know more? If you have questions, we can always have a meeting, or you can always thank you so much. You can always email the academic advisors. And this slide is for Jacqueline. She's going to talk about exchange.
So I think also a big difference, as you said, besides, yes, for an internship, you get paid. But it's also, I think, depending on the type of person you are and what studies you want to go into. So getting practical experience is never a bad idea. So I think the biggest difference with internships and an exchange is that if you are going into a field that is more hands-on or practical, and you want to get some field experience, an internship is a really good option. And then there is a way that you can do a study abroad and an internship at the same time.
Mhm.
So typically how that would work is because you have 15 credits for your internship, you would either do that in the first or second portion of the semester, and then just do exchange in the other portion to give you a full 30 credits. So that is something that is possible. We have a few students that do that, but normally it is just one or the other for the student's preference and to focus on either their academic or their traineeships process. So if you want to go on exchange, because you have to do a thesis in the spring, you're always going to go exchange on autumn of your third year. So it is for September to December for most of our programs, but our programs in Oceania run from July to November, and a lot of the programs in Asia will run from October to February. So, of course, depending on where you want to go, and when this time approaches you, especially as a second-year student, we will look at what you want to study and what might be a good idea for you in terms of their timeline and how it matches up to what you have to do at UCG. So we can go to the next slide. Thank you, Marika. Okay, so as I said, it's a semester abroad in your third year. And then the nice thing about your exchange time is that you can take courses that are all focused on the field of which you might plan to do a pre-master or a master after UCG. Or if you want to go into the career field, but you want to take more courses on something that deepens what you started at UCG, or might be completely different than what we have offered and that you have gained an interest in, it's a really nice opportunity to either diversify that or to make it as niche as you would like to, depending on what your plans are. And of course, what ties into that, of course, is not only what you want to study, but also where you want to study. So again, things like the academic calendar come into play, but also where you might be from originally and what you would like to go experience. And so we have programs in the EU, and we also have programs outside of the EU. They have separate application processes, but within the EU, Marika, can you go to the next slide? So when you study abroad within the EU, we have a lot of students that come from the EU originally. So some like to stay closer to what they know, because it's not just going to be different academically, but it's also going to be a cultural, even all of our programs, except for a program that we have in Valencia, is in English. So you're not going to have so much of a language difference compared to what you take at UCG. But outside of academics, in terms of interacting, you will be exposed to a lot of differences. So again, naturally, you're going to get international experience and intercultural awareness, which I think is really important, especially in today's society that is very interconnected. But of course, it's also a chance, besides academically, but how you are as a person and to develop. So you get to know another country, you get to know another culture, you get to deepen a field of interest that you have, and to strengthen your application for a master's, for example, if you have to meet certain requirements. And I think it's just a really nice opportunity to challenge yourself. But you can also do that if you want to do a program that's closer to UCG. It's still just going to take you out of your environment that you've known for 2 years and put you in a new one. And there's a lot of variations of how we can decide which program you want to do. And we can go to the next one. Okay, so in order to apply for exchange, I'll just be brief on this because this, again, will not really come into play until your second year. But we start to have a spring information session of your first year to give you guys an idea to start thinking about what we have and what you can study. And then into your second year, we will offer sessions and workshops to narrow in more on what you want to do and what the process looks like. And the thing is that if you choose the Erasmus track or the non-EU track, you can choose up to 3 programs of our programs of where you want to study. And the idea of that is that we have an international board that makes the selection process so that there's no bias, because I will field all of the meetings with you, but I cannot be involved in the selection process. So we always try to match a student with their first preference. And if they don't get their first preference, then with something that you have put as your second or third. And we can go to the next one. So just to kind of, this is not everything, but just to kind of give you an idea, we have programs in Dublin, in Valencia. Valencia is unique because it is the one program we have where it is all in Spanish. We also have in India, in Morocco, and Germany, also in Austria, a lot in Japan, and there's a lot more to put on this list in Korea and Vietnam and Albania. So it's just kind of, again, depending what you want to study and where you want to go. And if worst case, it doesn't suit you, there's always the opportunity to do an internship abroad. And if one of our programs is not perhaps aligning with what you would like to do, we do have the option for you to be a free mover, to go on exchange. The only difference is that things like tuition and a bit of your course changes come into play there. And we can go to the next one. Yes, so this is the last slide. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask them now, or you can feel free to email us at the academic advisor or exchange email.
Yeah. Maybe you have some questions now. Were you thinking about, and maybe I'm curious, you can also write in the chat, did this session responded to what you were looking for, or were you looking for another type of information? If that's the case, we can, I'm sure, answer to that as well right now. So just feel free to put that in the chat, and otherwise email us. We'll be happy to answer all your questions and maybe see you here next year or in a couple of years, whenever you're done with your high school. Marika, maybe you have one question for us?
No, I don't have any questions besides, but I do have a big thank you for this very nice presentation. I think it was super informative and clear. And I see a lot of thank yous in the chat.
Thank you all for being here.
Maybe just for fun, Jacqueline, what's like the most popular destination? Where do all our students want to go to?
I think it kind of, it's not a cop-out answer to say it changes every year, but for example, 2 years ago, New Zealand and Australia were very popular. And then last year, Asia was very interesting because we have, I say Asia because we have a lot of different programs there. So there wasn't really one that stuck out. But this year, Osaka is very popular, and also Nova Scotia, Dalhousie. So it's kind of interesting how that always changes. I think it's also a lot of peer-to-peer talking and what influences each other. But I think it's also just that, I mean, for example, Jonah's internship with what he's doing in Costa Rica, I think that's amazing to do something with animal rehabilitation. So I think in general, your minor just reflects on a broader scale of what you can do at UCG, that we're here to help you make decisions. And it's okay to come in not knowing exactly what you want to do, because you can tailor your courses or your minor to what you have an idea, what you want to do after UCG. But also it just kind of, it's not so ambiguous that there's no guidance or something, no pun intended, but just kind of taking the jumble that's in your head and making a plan of, okay, what do you want to do with your life, essentially? So
decisions taking place.
All right, thank you so much. I think there are no other questions, also not in the question and answer section.
there
Um,
questions from the parent that was here?
I don't think
I see a very clear no questions.
Okay.
So, Jacqueline and Sonia, thank you both so much. And for all our participants, this was Digital UCG. So yeah, maybe we'll see you someday in Groningen or during an open day or as a student for a day. There are many opportunities to learn more about what it's like at UCG. So for now, thank you and goodbye.